Alrighty, welcome back. I'm your man, Bad Chad. That's enough, that's enough. No need. Today's going to be one of the most, well, it's going to be probably one of the most important cuts of the chop, I guess. That was pretty straightforward. Cutting that off, in my brain it was. Two pieces of tape, pulled it down, made the door tops fit. This, if you're counting, this is our third hour into the chop. Everything I've done in front of your face, in front of your eyes. We're on our third hour. On this top of this door on this side, I cut this one. I didn't have the other one cut, but I'm going to show you what I did, just so you know. So when it come to the other side of the door, it was pretty basic. What I did, this was the top of the door. Yeah, that went on the door like this. So I just took the top of this and I matched it up with the other top of the door, and I knew where my line was. Pretty basic. So that's what I did. I just took this top where I cut this off. To measure that and do all that. Didn't want to do that. Just took it, grabbed it, eyed it up, cut it off. That's what I did. And I did the exact same thing for the front pieces. Did the exact same thing for those. Just matched them up, drew a line across, and cut it. Bring it over here. I seen where I cut it on this area. I seen where I cut it here, and I just held up there, cut it, did the exact same thing. Took me the matter of a couple minutes. Like, I didn't make it difficult. Also, I don't want to make this difficult in the back either. It's hard to measure when something's round and going, it's hard to tell. As I've got this going here, this is what's going through my brain. I'm thinking that I'm going to be able to pull this out to fit on the top of this. I think I'm going to be able to do that. I have got no braces on the inside whatsoever yet. I'm just hoping that I can maybe push on it or do whatever I have to do to make it fit or pull it out. When I'm coming around the back, it looks like the back window is going to get affected somehow. And I'm thinking that I might have to cut it out and slide it up a little bit. I'm not sure yet. Don't know yet. Haven't took my brain there yet. But what I want to do is, where this is all nice sheet metal, nothing has been welded, everything's nice, I think I want to try to cut it off in one piece and slide it forward. That's what I want to do. I don't know if it was the first day or the second day. I made this line here where it goes on the top of this, and I just laid the ruler on there and drew it across. So what I want to do is, like I said, I want to make it as simple as possible. So I'm going to take some 2-inch tape. I'm going to follow my line. So we're going to try to get this roof cut off the back here today. I want my glasses just to see, that's all. Just to see. No clapping necessary. I'm just going to put that on there like that. Run my tape on my line, close as I can. That's what I'm going to do. Just going to get that wrinkle out of it. I'm going to go the other side and do the exact same thing. I did a line on both sides. And this tape is going to give me a true read. This tape. What I got going on there, when I chop the front, so that gives me 2 inches. I said I took 4 to the front. I did cut 4 this way, but when I dropped it down, it didn't give me quite 4 because we're on an angle. So if I took that 4-inch, if I held it up straight, I would have 4 inches. Yes, I would, the piece that I cut out. But when you angle it, you lose, obviously. That's when you hold a measuring tape, you hold it straight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run some 3/4-inch tape here. I'm not going to run 2 pieces of that because I know that that is not exactly 4 inches. I don't want my back lower than my front. I might even like the back a little bit higher. Maybe. Not sure yet. We'll see. What happens is I'm going to run some tape on here. This is 3/4-inch, so it's 2 3/4 right now. 2 3/4. So I could run 2 pieces of this. I want to just run another piece of tape here. No measuring involved, just tape. I like it that way. No measuring involved. And this will not lie to you, It is what it is. Just run a piece on the other side. So what I have to do is I'm getting this taped off right at the present moment, but I have to cut off the center, a little bit of the center of the roof, because I'm going to pull this ahead, so I'm going to have to cut some off it. And I have to have Jolene help me today. I want to say that Jolene's doing very well on the jet setter, and if anybody feels like voting for her, I would muchly appreciate it, because she shows me, she gives me her support, and I want to support her. And if I can get all the YouTubers and the Facebook support her because she supports me, that'd be great. I'd appreciate it. If you want to vote on the jet setter, that'd be awesome. I think Jolene deserves it. She works hard. She's a person of business. She does me right. She treats me right, and I want to do her the exact. What I've got going on there is I've got 2 3/4, so it'd be 1.5 inches. I'm just kind of wondering if I want to go another piece of tape. So that'd be 3.5. So I'd lose a 1/2 inch. So I'm just saying I would lose. Just wondering if I want to put another piece of tape on the back, that's all. So right now I'm at 2 3/4. So if I put another piece of tape on it, I'd be at 3 1/4, 3.5. Inch, 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, 1.5 inches. So I'd be 3.5. 3.5 would probably do it, But I do like the idea of having the back of the roof a little bit higher. I like the idea of that. And if I cut it off and then I got to go back in there and cut more off, basically what is going on is I have to wrestle it on the floor, basically. Or I could take it and set it on there and cut it off that way. I just don't want to wrestle it on the floor. I'd like to move it ahead and go there. I just want to think for a minute, just want to think for a minute, just want to think for a minute. Oh, while I'm thinking, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I did. I measured this right here, this little piece on the back of the door. I've got 3 inch, a little better than 3 inch, that thickness there. I can back and measure it on this thing. This piece here is going to match up to that top of that door. We're a little less than 3. So measure back, I come back to here, and I'm about 3 right there. That's a good 3 where I drew that line. So 3 inch right there would match up with that exactly. Now, when I cut this off here, this is going to be farther ahead than where that is. Obviously, we got more of a turn going on. So what's going to happen is I'm going to come in and knock these spot welds off. I just got 1, 2, 3 spot welds. Knock that off. When I pull the roof ahead, then I can adjust the length of this and I can match this back up. I can cut this and take some out of it, section it, pull it ahead a little bit so it matches up to this. I'm going to mark that because that's where we're going to cut it. I just want to see if I'm straight up and down or not. I'm going to go on the other side of the line. The reason being is because I want to. Put that on there like that. Got to take that, turn that a little bit. Just trying to get a straight up and down line, that's all. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'm going to take this, put it right underneath. If I get this a little short if I get this a little short in the back, I can always take that one spot weld off and just take a little bit more out of it and drop the front down. Basically, that's why everything's tacked together, because I can move things around. This is obviously going to have to come off when I get that back chopped off. What I'm going to do is we still got a little kick forward there. We still got a little kick forward, it looks to me. So I'm going to put another piece of tape on it. What the hey? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Because my brain is telling me to do it. I'm going to do this. I find this easier than trying to mark it out using the tape as a guide. I'm going to do another one on the other side. Find the old measuring tape. Measuring can get confusing sometimes for me. Not for everybody, just for me. So I think the back window is going to get bit. What can I say? I think the back window, that's fine there. I like we come over this side, it's easier to see. I like that there. That's a better angle. The angle's still coming back, I find. What I better do is, better get that right there across there, right, hadn't I? Bring that down a little bit. Let's go to the other side and make sure. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay, this is what I'm going to do to measure up how far. I'm going to cut on the other side. I'm just going to cut this straight. I'm going to take a piece of tape, and I'm going to start it here, and I'm going to run it up to there, and then I'm going to go over the other side and put a piece of tape on. I'm going to do this. Put a piece of tape there, and then I'll know where to cut. Just going to run it right up like so. My marker. I have to remember what side my tape's on. I'm going to cut that off. Don't want to stretch the tape. Got to be careful of that. Don't stretch the tape. Let's take this over the other side. And put that on the beginning of where we put it on the other side. And I'm going to run it up around like we did on the other side. Not stretching the tape so I get a true read, or truer read. Now when I come over and measure that, tape goes on this side. I get my tape. Excuse me, sweetheart. I'm going to have a little bit of issue. I see the back window. I was on the front side. I cut that to the tape. Now what I want to do is I want to get the level and to see if that line's level, straight up and down or not. Also, I don't need the tape measure, but just want to show we're 3 inches. See the 3 inches mark? Right in front of the tape. Okay, so just want to see if that's straight up and down or not, that's all. Peel this off. Just want to straighten it up some. Good. So that's what I'm saying. There we're at the same. Oh, didn't want to do that. So I'm saying that's the exact same distance, exact same piece of tape from that top piece of tape on the front of that. We're cutting on this side. I'm going the other side, just make sure I'm doing the right thing here. Tape went to there. We can check it again as far as that goes. Don't want to cut it and not have it right, I guess. Take my piece of tape off. It should fit in that line again. Just going to take this off. If you want to measure something that's round, grab a piece of tape. It won't lie to you. And then we're up there again like that. Good. So we're going to cut in front of the tape. That gives us, basically that'll fit that. So I'm thinking when we come up around like that, then we can join onto that. We'll have to section this though, but here we go. Let's get, I want to cut that straight across. That's going to be a little bit trying maybe, to get that all the way across there. I'm going to get Jolene maybe to hold this side. Are you able to put your camera down? Give me a hand. Mm-hmm. Jolene looks amazing today, as you're going to see in a moment. You can stand on this tire if you want, sweetheart. You can stand on that tire. And Jolene's getting the camera ready. So basically what's going to happen here is Jolene's going to hold the tape on this side. I'm going to go to the other side and try to string it across straight, if possible, straight as possible. And we'll go from there. So Jolene, you can stand on the tire, you can stand on this first if you want to. And if you're able to hand me that tape across, you hold that. You want to hold your finger on that too, please? Don't know if I'll be able to reach out, get on the tire on this side. Yes! We're just going to try to make a straight line, that's all. Going for it. Just going to do it. There it is. We've got a nice roof. All this metal here is nice in the back. Really enjoy that. But basically what I'm going to do is we're going to get rid of this piece in the center here. We're going to get rid of that and get it out of our way, and then we'll cut the back off. So I'm going to get the old zip cut going. What I probably should do is get the plasma cutter going, our Lincoln Electric Tomahawk plasma cutter. We're going to get that bad boy going again. We're going to zing it through. I'll zing it all the way through to here somewhere, and then I'll zing it on to the other side, and then we'll cut these pieces, and then Jolene can hold one and I'll hold the other. So that's basically what we're doing. I'm going to move the welder. It's a big day for the chop, but it's pretty basic. I didn't do anything to screw anybody up, I don't think. I used some tape for the measurement. I find that easier sometimes because you can add up your measurements with tape. That's basically all I did. I got 3.5 inches on the back where we're cutting it off. We had 4 on the front. If we have any irregularities on the way the chop looks, then we just snip off the spot welds and do the necessary cuts that we need to make it look right. As people say, what about the other builds? Well, when the camera goes down, I do the little bit of thing I have to do to get that side done. Then I come over and I worked on Elvis last night, or a little bit, and I got my piece for my floor. This bolt's on the floor. I had to have a place for the steering column to go through, so I got that done, and I got my hood thing welded up. So if you think I'm not working on the other projects, ha ha ha. It's actually time. It's actually quite nice to be able to get little tiny things done that it's pretty hard. You know, I can show you. Yes, I can, but sometimes they're just little small things that aren't necessary. But I'll show you in the end, no doubt. Baby's getting on her glasses. We got a ground. We don't need to plug on the air compressor on this bad boy because it has its own. And you always like it when it has its own. Now, I'm not used to this thing yet. We're going to turn her on. And we're going to turn the air compressor on. Nope. That's on. There you go. Just like that. Amazing, eh? Blowing my tape off. Going to make a line instead. That air compressor has got a lot of pressure, and it's blowing the tape off that I used for my line. So I'm just going to take a marker and not let it blow it off. I got a line there with, just like that. Beautiful. You are Jolene. Take this bad boy to the other side. Everything has a cord. Sometimes that's the hardest part about moving something, is dealing with the cords. No, it is the hardest part of moving things, is dealing with the cords. So we got this bad boy hooked up here. No air compressor needed with the 375 Air Tomahawk, and it's quite impressive. Quite impressive. That way there, you could take it anywhere. You could take it, as long as you have a 220 plug-in, you could take it outdoors, you could take it anywheres. It means a lot. Just going to mark this because I know it's going to blow the tape off. The air pressure's got a lot of will and a lot of want. Mark this down here. So what'll happen is I'll get it cut all the way across the roof, and then me and Jolene will have to zip cut the rest of it. And because of it's got 3 or 4 different layers going on there, and we just will. So we're going to have her looking like a coupe today. Not saying it's going to be right on the money first thing. No, I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying we're going to have the roof moved ahead and see what goes on. We're on our 3rd hour. We're on our 3rd hour, so I don't think it's a... The little thing, that the 2 arms on the side of that are nice. Didn't know if I'd like it or not, but I do. Awesome. Alrighty. Well done, Lincoln. Well done. Well done. So now I'm going to get a zip cut going. We're going to get the zip cut going. Cut the middle of that roof out. And I'm going to get you to help me, sweet. I'm going to cut one up. Yeah. So you'll have to get your maybe you should get your camera ready while I'm cutting this right here, and then you can hold one side and I'll cut the other side while you hold this side, okay?
Okay.
If you want earmuffs, you're more than welcome. You want earmuffs?
Oh, that's okay.
That's okay. Alrighty. Are you ready?
You want me over here?
I want you on this side,
Okay.
if you will, please. Got gloves on?
Yep.
I haven't.
You want some? Where do you... Okay, I need my goggles too.
Yeah. I'm going to hack this off without seeing it.
Where do you want me to hold? Anything?
Right here. Be fine. Want that? Make it easier to hold for you. Up in the air a little further. Come on. reciprocator saw. I could have stuck that in there in the first place, but I didn't. I live dangerously with the Are you ready? That's what you got. So I'm going to the other side. Are you okay with that? Holding that for a bit?
Yep.
Okay. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. So I'll just run over the other side. I'm going to grab a different cord. I don't want to be too hard on you. All right. Just going to get the reciprocator saw, plunk it off, and then we got that part off. Got me running now. Oh, you're all good. You got your elbows all propped up. Yes. Jet setter, you. Everybody give her a vote if they will, please. I'd appreciate it. She'll put the link on somewhere so you can see it. I'm sure she will if I ask her to.
Yep.
That's too bad. Broke that darn blade. Alrighty. I broke the blade. So we're gonna leave it like that for a second. Broke the blade. Damn it. Just gonna knock that out. Plug this. See, this is the hardest part, getting this done. But we got her. Have me, baby.
Yeah.
We got her. Alrighty. Let's just take it right over top of the... Oh, we got a little piece there snaggled on, did we? That's alright. Alright. What? Don't let it fall. There you go. Let it right down inside the car. And when I say don't throw anything away, that right there is going to be a nice piece for right behind the window from side to side.
Okay.
Right? We're just going to slide that in here a little bit. Now I'm going to cut the back of the window section off. I have a couple braces here that's going to hold, not to hold me up, but it's going to dictate how fast I get it off. And if I have to, the hinges, I see. Are you able to pass me a few things if I want it? What if I wanted a screwdriver? Ooh.
Just a flat one?
Be great. Just going to dig this stuff out in here, see what's going on. I see I got a brace right there, or a... That's where she's connected. Connected anywhere else. Oh yes. Not getting away that easy, they said. Also, we got the Dane, the name of the guy that's helping us with our LS swap. He's got us a transmission. So we went and got our transmission. That's going to help us out. Moving forward full time. Just trying to get that piece out. All right. There you go. Come on in there. Don't be scared. All right, we got a brace going on there. We got 3 braces in the back. I'm thinking I can cut them with a zip cut, But what that does, it lets this package tray free. I don't want it to be free yet. I don't think. Not yet. I'm going to cut the back off, so I got a brace. I'm going to be above that brace, so that's going to hold it. But this brace is going to have to be cut. That's going to have to be cut. Just checking things out here. Checking things out. Easiest place to cut that brace is up top. I probably should run a little piece of metal and hold that trunk lid in place until we're ready to do something with it. Let's get this done as quick as possible. I'm going to cut this right here. Just don't want to cut the roof, right? Just cutting that off. Just be careful, take your time. Carry the one. That's free. That's when we cut the roof off. We cut it off here. Our line's above this. We don't need to cut that off. That's cut off. We're going to take the back window section, so we're going to cut that off. Is the package tray going to drop on me? And I think it will drop on me. But that's okay. We're going to end up moving it anyways. I'm thinking that all glass would be replaced as I'm chewing that up and spitting on that. All that glass would be replaced. It's all flat glass. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. So no fear. No fear. Through that or not. I come up on the back side and cut it. I'm going to have to probably. Don't we only use a plasma cutter? Well, the quicker I get it done, the better. I'm just going to open the trunk lid up and cut it, I guess. Let's do it. The quicker I get it done, the better. This is one of them things where you fall and crack your kahunas. That's what I didn't want to happen. Okay. What's that, sweetheart?
Check your mic.
Check my mic. We had some noise going on with the mic the other day. Jolene got not. That's her division. Ooh, did not like it. Keep that on there. Keep that on there. All right, there she's locked in place. Locked and loaded, boys, locked and loaded. All righty, I gotta cut these. Ouch. Hard to get. Hard to get. Yeah. Don't fall on my head. Alrighty. Thinking these are cut. I'm hoping. Because they're connected to my piece of my window trim that I want. Yeah. place. What I'm going to do is, I took a tape measure and ran across it there the other day and left that. I'm just going to take a piece of tape this time and make it easier. And I'm going to take more metal than I need because, look at that now, I got chewed up already. How'd I do that? Took a piece out of me. Here's our tape. I put 2-inch across there last time, and today we're going to use 3/4 inch. So this is going to be my line. I'm just going to follow the trunk lid across. Get a little bit of 1/8 probably there. So this is my line. I'm going to cut on the top of this all the way around. I'm going to come to here. I'm going to take as much as this as I need because we're going to end up adding to this. We're going to have 3/4 inch piece of metal there. When this gets cut here and laid down, we'll have 3/4 inch to play with. That should be enough. If not, we'll deal with it. And I know it is, so I'm not worried. So let's cut the back of this roof off. We're going to leave that roof inside. That's good. Everything's good. Joey's going to play with my mic. Alrighty, let's cut this off. No messing around, let's cut it off. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. I'm going to have to use a reciprocator saw on there for this piece here on the corner, I think. And that should be about it. But I'm going to cut it off with a zip cut. Get all the way through that, did I? Probably need a little longer blade. Let's go to the other side. Cut that one off. I think I'll leave that there for that. Cut this one. And then we'll put a longer blade on it. And change blades. Cutting this with a zip cut, the reason being is usually when you cut with the old plasma cutter, you end up generally getting a little bit of slag on it. I don't want to peel that roof off and try to take the slag off the bottom of it. You know, I don't want to do that. If we did the old race car, we were outside, that's fine. All the way through there yet? Wonder why. I'm going to go take the other side. There's a little lip there that brings the roofs together. Got to make sure I hit that. There's that one. Now, I'm going to cut across the back. Let's do it. little bit holding that on in the back. Not sure. I'm gonna have to get in and try it. See if there's anything holding it. I know there's something holding it across there, but that's where I'm gonna have to get in here, push up. I'm not sure. We'll have to cut that off the reciprocator saw. We'll get another blade. Could get inside and do it with the zip cut, but don't know as if I got enough room for that. I'm gonna knock that out. Got another blade here somewhere. Let's go with this one. Hopefully nothing falls or anything. I'm gonna need I moved your little table there, Jolene. I'll need your assistance here, and probably I'll get one cut. Maybe I'll cut your side first, and then I'll come back. Hoping we'll have to section the top of that door a little bit. I can tell that obviously it's going to be too long because we've got too much of a curve going on there. Or I hope we do. Right, baby? Yeah. Yeah. Baby, yeah. Good. Oh, wheat shreddies. Go to the other side. Yes, sweetheart?
Are you able to reach my gloves that fell in the car?
I can. Or I think I can.
Thank you.
No worries. You can hold that side for me, please, and thank you. Get your camera ready. Now, if, now I'm cutting this off, if it does not look good, when it comes up to, we're going to probably have to snip the top of the doors off. If it does not look good with the profile, then that's when we snip things off and we readjust. So make sure, knowing that if things don't look good, take your time and readjust it. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm in. I want to hold up on that at the same time if I can, but see what happens. And just go like this. Alrighty, let's see if we can pick this off. Just a second. I've got a little bit of snip off there. One of them, haven't I?
Yep.
All right, let's put it back down. We can. Now, open this trunk lid back up. I'm hoping it stays in place. It's quite rough. You know what they say.
Oh, your mic's down, honey.
My mic's down. Just gonna put my mic back on, boys. Hope you didn't miss anything. Nothing important, anyways. We're cutting. You want to button me right up, do you? Just want to cut that little piece off. I'm just wondering where we're snaggled on there. Gonna get this, get the grinder, snip a little piece. It shouldn't fall off. You just want to keep.
You want me on the other side?
I think you're fine on this side. Just kind of hold it so it don't flop forward. It don't matter if it does, but. Everything's staying in place. Just a second. I'm going to be smart and get my own pair of gloves on because I'm going to end up being aren't I? Huh?
Yeah.
Falling on you?
No. I'm just gonna take
That's how I got
these
cut the first time, is not wearing gloves. Pull this out of the way. I got to pull a couple things out of the way. You okay for a second?
Yep.
Of course she's okay. Alrighty. Sort of like to have this laying down. And the reason being I want to lay that down, I just don't want it interfering in the visual. You know what I mean? Like if it's sticking up inside there, you can't see what's going on real good. Let's take this off. Here's the test. Okay. All right, can you sit on yours at all?
No.
All right, one thing I can tell right now is I took too much out of it.
Did you?
I did so. All right, now, just a second. Well, yeah, I took way too much out of it. Well, what's taking? So that means we're chopping her again. Not by, no, that's not. No, just got to come ahead some, that's all. It's got to come ahead some. No, we're not chopped too much. Not at all. Not at all. Let's just set this back. Oh, sorry, sweetheart.
That's okay.
Set it on there. No, we're not chopped too much. We just got to come ahead more. That's where I'm back too far. Now, I want to set something across here so we can hold that back end up, eh? If I get anything in here. Everything's outdoors. You know what I mean? Need something across there to hold that. Oh, I'm going to have to weld a piece of metal together. I'm going to weld a piece of metal together. We chop through here. Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll work. I'm going to do this. Got to weld a piece of metal on this, just so I can get some length, run something across there. Some square stuff, and then we'll cut it to length. I need a piece of metal. That's what I need. See what happens. I might have cut too much out of it, I'm not sure. But if I did, like I said, we'll snip a little bit off the front and go from there. Got a new haircut. Got a new haircut. I just think it's got to be pulled ahead further, that's all. Gas turned on. Because it don't matter if it's straight or not. Weld it up fast as I can. Nothing for looks. Nothing for looks. It's all cosmetic. Cosmetic is looks, isn't it? Huh? Baby? All right. Just gonna put that across there. Lay that in there. And we'll just cut that off. Right there. No measuring involved. Get my reciprocators. What has to happen now? I have to cut some of this off to allow that to get ahead. Did I ever cut that shy? Maybe I should have stayed off it. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll have a better chop than I figured. I like a good chop car. I'm sucking for a chop car. Where did I mark that? Sometimes it turns out that way for me. Sometimes I make something, build something, and then now let's set the roof head, sweetheart. inch down, 3.5. See what happens. I have to come back some. Alrighty. It's probably basically right on the money once I get this out of the way. So, I'm going to come take a look at your side. Now I'm going to have to split it up, I guess, and there's no ifs, ands, ways about it. I got to junk it up. Did not want to, but I'm going to have to because it's too narrow. So I'm going to have to put a piece in. I'm going to have to section this and make this wider because it's not going to fit up there because I've got, we're 2 inches there. What's it look like? You still got, what, you got an inch there now?
Yeah, 1.25 inches maybe.
Yeah. Okay. How far we get to fit that on there? That'll tell me how far to cut it off, won't it? Tape measure. Yeah, I'm going to have to, might bring that down a little bit more. Where's tape measure? See tape measure? Got another one right here. We're up a little high in the back, as you can tell. Like, I think we're up a little high. I had the piece there. Dun, 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 dun. So if I want that to fit there, 5.5 inches. So I'm saying I want this piece to come there. 5.5 inches off the roof, 5.5 inches. I'm going to go to the other side. We're hard up there. 5.5 inches will do it. I'm going to take off the top of the doors. I'm going to cut them off. Take 5.5 inches out of this. Cut this 5.5 inches, cut all the way across there. Put it together. See what happens. I'm not going to, what am I going to do now? I'm going to have to section the back window. Just wanted to check it out. I knew that it probably wouldn't. I'd be able to stretch it apart. It's not going to work. So I'm going to have to section it, and I'll run some tape on there so I section it right. That's what I'll do. But I want to get 5.5 inches out of this first. I can snip off the top of the doors. This might be a decent lengthy one, but I really want to get a visual before I shut it down. If you know what I'm saying. Is that okay, baby?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So I'm going to, we're okay there for now. That's just sitting there. Take these off. Go to the other side. Plug that in. This is where it gets me going when you pull something off and it's not doing what you, it's not looking right. It's where it gets me going. Is I could get right at it because I want it to make it look like something, you know. Window tops are still good. They're just, I just got them fitting the roof, that's all. That's fine. 5.5 inches. So we'll do 2 rolls of tape. That'd be 4. This way I'd probably do that. No, I don't have to do that. I'm just going to take a tape measure, run it along with a marker, and be a big boy. And what's going to happen is, when it gets up there, if it's not exactly, fitting exactly right, then what you do is we'll run a zip cut down through it until it does fit right. That damn tape measure, where did that elude me to? I'm going to get on my step pedestal there, and I've got to run 5.5 inches. So what we're going to end up doing on this right now is we'll end up getting done is we'll quarter up the back windows and get the quarters on, and then we'll figure out where we got to go from there. Dun, 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 dun. I'm scared of this thing I'm on. I'm just going to run my finger along this and do 5.5. Just like so. 5.5, 5.5. We'll cut it off the plasma cutter. We'll butt weld that back together with, we'll butt weld it back together, but we'll have to probably zip cut it. And if we have to zip that off, and to get that window shape looking better, we've only got one spot of weld on it, so we should be fine. And that's basically why I put one spot of weld on it, because I didn't know for sure. Too far away. No, I had to do it this way. Right. Five and a half, let's cut it. We'll plasma cut it off, and then we'll gear it up better with the zip cut after. The reason I say plasma cutter, just seems to be an easier job for the plasma cutter than the zip cut. Did I turn that off, did I? Now, when I cut that off, the roof is going to fall. We'll have to gear that up too. We'll have to have Jolene help me. So I'm going to need that stool again for this side. I'll grab the stool. What we'll do is we'll take it off, we'll cut it off, we'll hold it up, and then we'll pull this roof ahead and get it in place. And if we have to cut, why don't I just leave that there? We'll cut this side first. I'll just take the plasma cutter, cut this side first, because it's there. And we'll do it that way. I'm not sure if I get enough in around you, sweetheart. Oh yeah, lots of cord. Ugh. Beautiful. Little squiggly, but if I can cut this one. going to take a zip cut, finish, cut this side while I'm over here. Not going to finish it all the way through, but cut it. So when the roof, when we get the roof put together, we'll zip cut it because we got to zip cut that back window out, and we can move it up some. So that means we can straighten that line out a bit. All right, sweetheart, you're going to be on call. Please and thank you. Cut this side. Now. I think you want to come this side. You want to come here? This is going to be held by that and this. So you're going to hold one hand on this, and you're going to hold both hands on that, and we're going to let that piece fall. Basically it. Then we're going to have to rip that out of the way and then bring the roof ahead. You got her for now. You got her, baby, you got her. I'm going to hold this side up, cut this part off. Alrighty. Got to hold that piece there. Just let it go down in there easy. Now, I want to slide the roof ahead is what I want to do. You got the roof, no problem? Good. I'm just take the zip cut and knock them pieces up. Well, all right. Man, you're the best looking helper I've ever had. Let it down? Oh, it's just staying there, is it?
Yeah.
Good. I guess hold both of them, I guess, because it might fall. It might fall. Just hold both of them, please and thank you. I can turn this off. Probably going to have to pull that back window section down and section it up because it's not going to work with the window in the back. I just didn't want to cut the window out of the back until I knew. Listen, watch your eyes. Should be able to let it go. Okay. What's going to happen is I got to section that back roof up. That's basically what's going to happen. Just want to come over that side and take a look. Yeah, that's all that's going to happen. So we'll have a back window section that we'll have to deal with after, but I need to get this out of here. So I want this sail panel. This is what I'm going to do to get that sail panel and get them right. This is what I'm going to do. We'll want stay on that line. best I can. This way here I know they'll both be the same. That's all. Instead of trying to draw a line up through there. Stay on there. And do one more. Close enough to the back window, I figure. Doesn't hurt nothing at all. So I run 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of tape on the other side. So if you haven't voted for Jolene on Jet Setter yet, she'll put it on for you. Know where to go. The link, I guess it's called.
Yeah.
What's that, sweetheart?
I'll put it in the live chat.
Put it in the live chat. Doing this as fast as I can. We're on our third hour, fourth hour. Wherever we're on, we're doing this as fast as we can. That's basically like how I like to do things usually. Just trying to make it so when I cut this piece off that both sail panels are the same. That's basically all I'm trying to do. And it'll help me center up the window when it comes time. Okay. Okay. I'm just wondering if I should pull that down and cut it off. Probably the easiest if we pulled it down. You think you can put the camera down? Give me a hand to help me put this down on the ground. And then I'll cut it on the floor, and that way there it can fall on the floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this down, and we'll cut the sail panels down on the ground so it cannot fall. It'll just be easier that way. And we'll set the roof right here. And I kind of figured I'd have to cut the back window out of it, but I wanted to try it this way, if you know what I'm trying to say. That's basically the end of it. I wanted to try it before I'd done it. I got to take and pull this over here. This might be a little longer than the other videos, but we'll get the visual going. We'll get 2 sail panels put on it, and then we'll give away a hat or a shirt. Alrighty, gonna cut this with a zip cut, and the reason being is it's right here. And we'll have to deal with the slag. Oh, I got it actually. I do that to take, just so it don't fall.
Do you want me to hold it?
Nah, should be fine. I'll hold it until it falls. Leave that be until I get the other one cut off. Or maybe I should put one on and then, cut them both. We got time, haven't we, baby? Good. Probably could have just left them on and pulled them out and then add the piece in there, but you know what I'm saying? I could have left the tit on like that, pulled it out like that, and then put our piece in the middle, but we'll be fine. That's what I could have done. I don't think I got enough hands for that, to be honest with you. Rip our tape off. Alrighty. Now. See, now we can get the zip cut our roof together. We need to come down. That's going to be a dirty chop. We need to come down some. We need to come down a piece of tape. You know what? I like that better. I do. I like a harder chop better. I was thinking that wasn't enough, but alrighty. This is what I'm going to do. We're going to chop that again, and it's going to be amazing. Alright, let's take that off. Nope. Jolene, I'm going to get you to. I'm going to put a piece of tape around that. What we'll do is we'll cut one piece of tape at a time. See what we need. And then we'll tack it back on, and then we'll put it up and try it so it fits. And all I'm trying to do right at the present moment, I've cut that back quite short. I have the sail panel, but like I said before, I did not want that tuck back part. Did not want that tuck back part, and I don't have it. So in order to get, this is what I want. I want that to sit on there like that, and this is what I'm going for, and I'm going to get it. It just matters of how long it takes me. And I want that to match up to that and come around and fit the front. So in all actual fact, we'll have to cut some more off of this and get this back down to fit that. That's going to pull that ahead a little bit. Looks good, don't it? Mm-hmm. And then around like that. It's even a better looking chop, to be honest with you. It's a better looking chop. Put that down there. I'm going to grab a piece of tape around it, 3/4 inch. I'm going to take the sail panel down. This is where it gets. You do what you got to do. I'm going to take it off the bottom. Just follow the same line I got there now. Just take a tape length off it. That's all I'm doing. And I'll do it until it looks right. That's basically it. I'll do it until it looks right. Actually, I could take that top off now. Let's take the top off now, and then I'll just go. I'm going the tape on the bottom, so that's what we'll do. I'll just take that tape off. We'll take the top off now. I'll get you to help me, sweetheart. Yeah. I'll knock this off. So I'm going to knock that off first. And then I'll put the tape on the bottom. And we'll chop it a little bit further and bring it ahead a little bit further. Okay. So you're holding your side, and then I'll zip cut it off. I'm going to take another 3/4 inch out of it. She's going to look bad. I like it already. I like it. All right, you got to hold that?
Just hang on.
Yeah. Your glasses on. I'm going to go to the other side, and we'll take the roof off. Anything to slow me down. Alrighty. We're going to do a tape 3/4 inch. Right there. Hoping I got it right. Pour ahead a little bit. Alrighty, let's cut her off. Take and use this up right now. Just trying to get a visual. I like the chop better, it's coming lower. I love it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. That better. Wasn't quite following the tape line. As soon as I got on the tape line, I was good. Just so we can tack it back on. My sweet Jolene's on call again. You're on call, if you would please. You can put the helmet on and weld if you'd like,
Okay.
and I'll do the holding. Trying to do this as quickly as possible, basically. Yes, we are. Thank you. Yeah, just grab her. I gotta get in. Can you hold that in the back for a second? Can you hold it up? Hold it up. Hold it up. Hold it up a little higher. Can't get it? Just hold the back, sweetheart. I'll get it. Just hold the back up. Just trying to. Just hold the back up. Heard it? Just hold your side. I'll weld this side, and then we'll do your side. Good. Beautiful. Third time's a charm. All right, I'm going to come out and what am I going to do? Now, I'm going to let you weld yours. We're up too high. You hold it. You hold. Oh, that just broke off. Ah! Do it again. Struggling. Real struggle, this is. Okay, you got a hold of it? Okay, coming over. Got it.
Okay.
Now, let's take that ground off. Let's weld our bad boy up. Your welder. Second me look at it. Beautiful you are. Good. Awesome. Now, you want to take a hold of that for a second. Just hold it like that. Just put a pair of vice grips on it so it doesn't fall for us. Just rest your elbows on this.
Yep.
There you go. Just going to get an extra little zing on it with a pair of vice grips. That's all. Dun, dun, dun. This one's over here. Good. So we're 3/4 inches down further than we was the first time, which I think I like better anyways. I think I like the smaller window. It's not, I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. It fits the exact same way as it did last time. Good. Now, still have to come down a little bit. I can take some off this. Okay. Are you able to
Tack it.
Yeah, just tack that there. I just want you to tack it.
Damn it.
I just have to see something. I might have to cut it in the back a little bit. Just want you to tack it right there where the drip roll molding is, okay?
Right there.
Where the drip roll molding is, yeah. Good. Hit it again just for safe measures. Good, good. Just in and out. Alrighty. Shut that off. And we just have to apply, get this going a little different. Let's we put that back in, take 3/4 inches off that, take a tape measure off it, and then we'll section this and add that up to that, see what goes on. Okay, I want to do it, it's okay if we got enough time?
Yeah, we've got like
What are we into it?
126.
Oh, we'll just get this cut off. I'm just going to take a tape off of this. All I did is take a tape off of that. Just want to get this window looking, you know what I mean? It can look across there whatever way it wants to. I just want to get this done. So we got something. Just going to do that. Cut that off. And this has to be snipped off because we're going to have to section it. We're going to have to section this. Yeah! Turn our welder back on. Just trying to section this side up so we can get a visual. Basically all I'm doing. That there is up just a little bit high. Top of that door. Need a ground, don't I? Russian, I'm Russian. I mean, I'm Canadian, I'm Canadian. What if that'd give it to me? Hoping and a praying. Oh yeah. Just tacking everything because we know that just tacking everything. That fits quite nice. Now, do a half decent cut on this. Would be nice. Half decent cut on that would be nice. And if it got a little bit of gap, I know something will fix it. A coat hanger. That's basically. Let's do it. Longer one or the shorter one? Shorter one. A better check. Sliding that up in there. I got the right one. Jesus. Wouldn't want it much looser, would I? Better. Just tacking everything together. Tacking. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run that one where it has to be. That's the thing with the MIG welder. She burns. I'm just going to run a zip cut up through that. I got to burn a hole in that. Terrible. Terrible. I'll have to fix that. C-clamp right here. That inside of there. That up in there. Have it top side first. Come on. Can't see to get the top side in. There we go. Look right? Get bit. Beat that up a little bit. Alrighty. Alrighty. That is the window shape that I got done as quick as possible. There is some massaging I got to do. Yes, there is. But I'll get this side gathered up, and then we'll do the other side together, I guess. What I'm looking for is this. All this doesn't matter because it's going to be welded and filled, but I'm looking for this. When I stick my window section in there, because I cut that off there, I'll be able to bring that right up tight to that. I will have to repair something going on here maybe, or I can get it together, but weld it together. Yes, I can. Piece of piss. Yeah, it's going good. So what I'll do is I'll finish this side, and then we'll do the other side together. Maybe I'll just slow it down a little bit, and then when we come back, we can see this side finished, and then we'll go to the other side and check that side out. Fast as I could. 4 hours, 5 hours in. Alrighty. Have a good one, everybody. Oh, we want to give a hat or shirt away?
Yep.
Let's give a hat or a shirt away. We had to do quite a bit to get that done. I cut a little bit much off the back. But what I'm saying is I did not want this curled in like this. I still can bring this ahead a little bit, I see. I still got to bring it ahead a little bit because I'm not there. I'm going to cut that again and pull this ahead a little bit, make that a tighter fit, make that tighter, which will make it better. I'm liking, yeah, the window section looks good. That's basically the main thing is the window section for me right now. Once the window section is good, then I can deal with the rest of the stuff. But the window section is looking really good. It really is. Alrighty, let's give away a hat or a shirt. So we chopped the back off, we chopped the windshield post again, and we put the door, and we chopped the window frame again. Took us an hour and a half. Not bad. Now what we'll do is we'll just critique it and just make it a little bit better each time. Every time I get cutting on it a little bit, I've got to make that fit a little better. I've got to make that back quarter or the back sail panel come ahead probably 1/8 or more. So that means I can tighten that gap up a little bit and tighten that gap up along the roof. We'll get that geared up. So next time you come back, you can see what it actually does look like. We're right in the middle of it. I could do this all day, believe me. And
I think we have to go to the door.
we got to go to the door. I probably will spend another hour on it trying to get it tidied up. I will so, but I'll be in my own domain. I won't have to explain anything. All I have to do is go. Door open?
Yeah, sure.
I do like the chop better now. I like it better because it's lower. I like it better. I like it better.
Let's go outside here. Can you hold it for me?
Sure.
I'm just going to change.
It's snowing here in Nova Scotia. A little bit of rain and snow. And we pretty well had to do that much. It's raining here, baby. You want wait on your computer.
It's okay.
You know, pretty hard to show you me cutting the back of the roof off, and that's it. I pretty well had to get the quarter windows on and get the top of the doors on. So there was a little bit of a rush there, obviously. Let's face it, you had to have some kind of visual.
One more try. Sorry. Okay. Doesn't seem like it's going to work today.
All right, I guess we're not giving a hat or shirt away this time. We apologize. We're not getting any internet connection. So basically that's where it's at. Yeah, so I did as much as I could within the time to show you what's going on. And what happened is when I cut that roof back off at 3.5, I got a little shy, which made me chop the roof again, which is okay. That's why I tacked things, and that's why I had it going where I had to go. On the back, I did not want that, so I'm happy. I had to do it anyways. And I did as much as I could, as fast as I could to get that going. And come back tomorrow, I'll have the window looking flowing a little bit better, and I'll have things tightened up a little bit better, and it's just a matter of slowing down a little bit, zip cutting it and taking my time and getting everything fitting just right. And then when you get back, you'll get to see. We'll do the other side. All right, everybody, have a good one.